Welcome to another episode of Business Inspired GY, and today we're speaking with Elisa Geronimo, the owner of Khayr Organics, a local beauty products company. Elisa, thank you very much for speaking with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Now, Elisa, we're here to talk about this small company you would have started. If you can tell us first, who really is Elisa?
Alicia, I'd like to think of myself as an all-rounder. I'm a full-time air traffic controller / businesswoman, wife, and aspiring mom. I started up Khayr because I have a passion for self-care, wholesome self-care that is, and I believe that self-care is not something that is optional or it's not a luxury. It is a necessity, and in order for us to function in our everyday lives and be the best version of ourselves, we should invest in ourselves and invest in self-care.
Now, I noticed you said that you're a full-time air traffic controller. How is it you have been able to manage a full-time job and also Khayr?
Well, I'd like to say I have a great support system. I would work sometimes in the night and manufacture stuff, and since I work shifts, on my days off I use it for business, and on my work days I use that for work. So I've been working actively to develop a good balance between the two so that I don't have any of the other affecting each other.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you could tell us about some of the products you have on display here.
Alright, so I have for now only hair care products since I have recently rebranded, and I'm focusing on hair care first, and then I will bring the skincare launch into effect soon. I have for now the Allium collection, and the Allium collection includes the Allium Ayurvedic thickening hair oil. That would be an oil that would help persons who have thinning, breakage. They want to repair their hair and thicken the hair strands and so on. And there's also the Allium Strengthening Green Tea Rinse, which is a daily application of rinse that you would mist onto your hair, or you can use it as a deep conditioner to strengthen the hair also. Allium is a collection that is based on onion and garlic. And for those who know and for those who don't know, Allium, garlic and onion are actually very, very good for the hair. We have the Basara collection, and in the Basara collection I have the Basara Herbal Hair Growth Oil and the Basara Clarifying Scalp Scrub. The Basara collection came about from the Basara women in Chad, and the Basara women are women who would use the African Asian secret. Well, it's no longer a secret anymore, but they use that shea powder to have their hair healthy and very long. The Basara women in Chad have very, very long hair. So shea is the main ingredient in the Basara collection, and that is the healthy hair secret of the Basara women. So here we would have the Basara Clarifying Scalp Scrub, and this is from the Basara collection. Mm-hmm. The main ingredient is this, as I said, the shea and another the African herb called ambunu. Ambunu is a herbal cleanser. It's natural. It doesn't have any parabens or anything like that, and it's very healthy for the hair. So it's a replacement for shampoo. And many times we might forget that we need to clarify our scalp. We're having product buildup. We're wondering why our hair is dry and not maintaining moisture like you want it to, and it's because sometimes we need to clarify, get rid of all that dirt and that stuff under there, and start fresh from a fresh scalp. Along with this scalp scrub, I have the Basara Herbal Hair Growth Oil. This is my #1 best-selling product. This is the first product that we ever started selling actually, and the main ingredient here is shea, as I would have mentioned, and it's mainly for hair growth and general maintaining of the hair. Hair care, it's used as a sealant. It can be used as a hot oil treatment also. Here we have from the Allium collection, the Allium and Green Tea Rinse. This is the daily applicator that you would apply to the hair as a mist. It's made up of herbs such as green and black tea. That is the main ingredient. Allium, oregano, comfrey, chamomile, and calendula. This to go along with the allium green tea rinse. In the allium collection, I also have the allium ayurvedic thickening oils, and this is made of onion and garlic and ayurvedic powders that are good for the hair, such as shikakai, amla, bringraj, and stuff like that.
Okay. How long did it take for you to actually bring your products to the shelf?
Okay, so for a while I have been testing the products on myself and my husband and my sisters, and I started probably in January of 2020 to make them for myself, because my mom and my sister, my older sister, they used to make them for our hair. They used to blend up different types of oils and put it in our hair. And we were always kind of versed with like paying attention to hair care and so on. And I started to make my own in January of 2020. And I released the first batch in March of 2020. So that is when I started selling from home. So people would come, I live right across the street from the store location, and people would come at my home and pick up, and I would do deliveries on certain days. I would pack up the car and I would go and deliver. So I've moved from doing that to being in my own space now.
How does it feel operating from your own space?
It feels very adultish. It's been a challenge here and there. I mean, I've started, the store wasn't looking like this when I first started. It was a hot mess, to be quite honest. We really renovated the place, and after that, as I grew and I became more knowledgeable in business, and I became more definite on what I want my brand to be and what I want my brand to look like and replicate, and what I want people to think of when they come in here. I had to make a strong decision, a very expensive one at that, to do another renovation. I do not regret it. It's been one of my best choices. Business has been going good ever since, and I will continue to push to have this location and have many other locations across Guyana.
Now explain, I know you said that you have many other locations across Guyana. The one that struck me is the shelf space that you are renting out of, I believe, Leisure Inn Hotel in New Amsterdam.
Yes.
Explain to me how that works, and how has it been for you operating from that space?
So the Shelf GY is a relatively new co-op space where I rent and occupy a shelf space from that business, which is located in Leisure Inn in New Amsterdam. They are a co-op space that would include other businesses that you can have. You can go there and find those other businesses and their stuff, and it's very motivating, to be honest, to be a part of something like that, where you can be able, your customers in Berbice can be able to access your stuff, and when they come in there, they get to access other businesses' stuff. It's like a mini marketing hub per se, and the Shelf has provided us with that great opportunity since we've started. I believe it was 2 weeks ago since business has started at the Shelf, and I've recently spoke to the owner, and she would communicate with me. We communicate via a group. We have a spreadsheet, and it's very organized and put together, and she would have communicated to me what my balance is there, and I was like, wow, that's really good. I'm doing really well since, so business is good up there, and I'm very happy that the Shelf provided us with that opportunity.
So you mentioned that your balance is good. Is it that the persons running the Shelf, they're the ones who will sell on your behalf, since you don't have anybody physically there?
Right, so they would have a general staff that would be handling all of the business's sales, and at the end of the week, or every time something sells, the staff would actually send it in the group. She's a part of the group. She would send it and say that this is recorded, and she will record it in the spreadsheet. So everything is very much aligned.
Selling alongside competing businesses in that location, are you concerned about that?
For one, I'm not, because I believe that Khayr is unique and individual and brings its own zest and its own taste. And I'm really comfortable of where I'm at in my business and so on. And I think that in Guyana, for small business, we don't have much room for competition. We have to collaborate, and in order to reach higher heights and to reach the international community, collaboration is the only way that we can get there, because I'll be very frank and very honest, Guyana isn't very nurturing to small business for now. We're now going into that development. So for now, we have to hold our hands as small business owners and find ways and means that we can get things done out there.
Your products are they to be used by persons who have processed hair or those who just have natural hair?
Yes, so my products are for any hair type. When a customer comes in, what I'm gearing towards now is to actually try to have some sort of system where I can have logs of my customers and their hair types, and so I can have consultations and recommendations for them, and I can see them through their hair care process. So I'm not just trying to sell them the product. I have many customers who would come to me for, oh, their hair is breaking or something is wrong, and they have different hair types, but it's about the backstory to the hair care. So I would rather than just say, oh, I recommend you buy my product and use it and everything is going to be well. I would ask questions like, okay, so what is your hair care regimen right now? Or what are you using in your hair right now? Mm-hmm. How often do you deep condition? Things like that. I want to know, and I want to have history and that relationship with my customers, so that even though my products can work on all hair types, and I'm confident that I've seen that happen before, I do want that relationship with my customers so that I can have logs and have that information and sell them a solution rather than to sell them the product only.
Tell me, what's the Khayr experience?
So the Khayr experience would be what you're experiencing here. At Khayr, when someone walks in, I want them to think of positivity, wholesome self-care. And in wholesome, I mean being, okay, let me start over there. Mm-hmm. When someone walks into Khayr, I want them to think of the positive, wholesome aura. And when I say wholesome, I mean self-care from the mind, the body, the soul. Through my products, I want people to feel good about themselves and feel confident and experience that Khayr experience so that they can go out there. And when I believe that when someone feels confident and they feel beautiful and they feel good about themselves, they project positively onto others. And that's my way of spreading positivity around the globe.
Now, Elisa, you just spoke about the Khayr experience. For you, how important is self-care for today's women?
Well, that's a really touchy topic for me because I believe that self-care in women is so important, and it may be becoming a trend now to some extent, and I don't know how I feel about that, because I don't believe that it should be something that can be sold. So self-care is a big thing now, but it's more of a trend than focusing on the actual importance of self-care. And self-care in women starts from the age of a child. And I've encouraged on my business page and through my products also that we start from our daughters all the way up to take care of ourselves as women. We kind of underestimate how important it is to feel good in the wholesome way, in our mind, our hair, our body, our soul, how much that can affect us and what we do in our everyday lives. Being the best version of yourself and being wholesome and taking care of yourself wholesomely, it can really change your mindset and change the way, the things you can do and the people you can impact. Self-care is really, really important to me for women. And I promote self-care in women as more than just a trend. I promote it as something, as a necessity. As a matter of fact, in the future, I plan to reach out to a lot of women, not to sell them my product, but coming to them as Khayr and to educate women of Guyana about wholesome self-care and to introduce them to certain things that I think are important, even from mental health going right down to self-care products.
All right, what are some of the challenges you have faced as a young businesswoman?
Oh, challenges. We've faced a whole lot of challenges since opening this business. Some persons who I have on my business WhatsApp, they would probably know that I complain a whole lot about all of the things that happen. So they would have like a closer relationship. One of my major challenges right now in Guyana is the duties, because a lot of the things that we have to use to do business or to have a certain standard of business being done in this country has to be imported, and importation is costing a dime, and then when you have to import these things, you have to put that cost onto your product. And it has a ripple effect because the persons that have to purchase the product, it's at a high cost for them. So things like that have been major challenges for me. But nevertheless, I'm finding ways around them. I'm trying to bring stuff in more bulks, trying to pack them up all at once and then get them here. But that affects me when it comes to restocking, because maybe I might bring some amount and I'll think, yeah, I got a whole lot now. But then the customers rush in and they purchase and they buy out, and then they have to wait a long time to restock again because I can't bring them in small amounts. It doesn't make me any profit. I'm not profitable when I do stuff like that. Another challenge I think I face, and I think a lot of other small businesses face this, is exportation and reaching the international community. It's either very high or very inaccessible to get our products out there to the international community, shipping from Guyana. I've recently thought about options like probably getting someone in the US to do it for me through the postal system, because I've been to the post office numerous times here trying to figure out how do I get this done, and I get help here and there, but it doesn't quite give me the information that I need and get me started. I feel like I've been on the Small Business Bureau's page last night actually, trying to find how I can access certain types of information for a small business owner, because a lot of the things that I learned them through lessons, and they're lessons that cost me a lot. So I was looking to find some knowledge on things like duties and taxes and switching over from a sole proprietorship to a company. I think that this information isn't quite accessible, and it's nice when you have other business owners that would help you out sometimes to say, well, I got it this way, so maybe you can try it that way. But other than that, you don't have anyone else or anywhere that you can go to access this information unless you have some kind of connection.
What do you, or where do you see Khayr in the next 5 to 10 years?
I see myself being a big company, no longer a small business. I see Khayr as an entity of businesses, so I do intend to change over to Khayr World. So the Khayr World would be included Khayr Organics and other Khayr businesses that I do plan to introduce, and I'll be launching one of them soon. I hope that I can have my own building and produce products and give that Khayr experience for many other businesses and introduce that to the Guyanese population.
As a young businesswoman, what would your advice be to young people like yourselves looking to start their own businesses?
To young people like myself, I'd advise them to not let anyone deter you, and to understand that your dreams are real and achievable, A lot of times you might tell someone, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and they might say, I don't think that's possible. I don't think you can achieve that, or it might be a bit hard to do that. And nothing is easy. Having a 9-to-5 job is not easy. Staying at home and not working at all is not easy. And having a business is not easy. None of this is easy. It's very difficult and it's very challenging. You're going to meet up with a lot of things that you have to push through the storm. But don't give up. Your dream is achievable, and once you have a dream and you coordinate that dream with a plan, it is very, very much achievable, and things do happen, and you'll stand and you'll watch it happen in front of you and say, well, wow, look at how a word or a manifestation, something I manifested, came to life. So never give up on your dreams. Have big aspirations. It's okay to dream big. It's okay to be that person that wants to stand out and do different things, and be yourself and give your best to whatever it is that you're doing.
If I can, one last question. 10, 15 years ago, Guyanese, we weren't really interested in local products. We basically got most of our beauty products from overseas. You are in the market now, and you're competing alongside other local companies like yourself in the beauty industry. How does that make you feel that Guyanese are now more comfortable or confident in using local products?
Well, I do see the bigger picture in that. Aside from positive competition, I do believe that it's very, very good that Guyanese people are shifting towards supporting local, and that the local brands are bringing the best, because I will honestly say that the local skincare and beauty product brands that we have here, I can say that a lot of them are bringing quality, and I'm so proud that we're making that bigger step besides all of the challenges, and Guyanese people are supporting us. I'm very, very grateful towards those people who would always come and pour in and give their support, give their positive feedback, their negative, I wouldn't call it negative feedback, but some people might think of it that way, but I call it constructive criticism. It helps, and it helps you to put yourself there. Soon we might not be considered local anymore, and I say kudos to the people, the other local brands that are doing their best to provide quality to Guyanese people, because that's what we deserve. Quality, we come from quality.
Thank you very much, Elisa. I like that. And that concludes this episode of Business Inspired GY. We just finished speaking with Elisa Geronimo, the owner of Khayr, a local beauty company. Khayr is located on Mandela Avenue between Princess and Norton Streets.
So if anyone is wanting to contact Khayr Organics, you can do so via our Instagram page at Khayr OGX. And you can also contact us via WhatsApp 665-6266, or call that number and you can get on to us. You can also visit our store location located on Mandela Avenue between Princess and Norton Street, the green 3-story building, and we're the first store on the bottom front. So our products can be accessed at our storefront location at the Shelf, the GY, in Berbice, New Amsterdam, at Leisure Inn, or also at By Shea in Linden, in the New Vendors Arcade.